What unfolds when one of the world's most sophisticated fighter jets evolves from a regional defender into a global predator? Imagine Sweden's Gripen E, a platform already renowned as the smartest and most cost-effective 4.5 generation fighter. While the original draft suggested a Rolls-Royce engine, the reality is even more compelling and politically complex.
The Gripen E has integrated the General Electric F414 GE39E.
By fusing American raw power with Swedish digital supremacy, Saab has created a Frankenstein's monster of aviation. A jet that delivers 90% of the capability of a fifth-generation fighter at a fraction of the cost, directly challenging the
John. Today on AirDom, we are dissecting exactly how this fusion of horsepower and algorithmic warfare has.
To understand why this aircraft keeps the Pentagon strategist awake at night, it was not. It was designed to survive a total Soviet invasion of Scandinavia. This specific doctrinal requirement birthed a philosophy that stands in stark contrast to the American model of war. The United States Air Force relies on massive, sprawling air bases, deep logistical trains, and pristine runways. The Gripen was built for the opposite. It was forged to operate from the shadows, utilizing Sweden's dispersed basing doctrine known as Bas 90. Even before its massive engine overhaul, the Gripen lineage challenged the American defense model by providing something the United States exceptional capability at a remarkably affordable price point. We are talking about an aircraft designed to land on a snow-covered 8-meter strip of highway in the middle of a Nordic forest. Crucially, this pit stop does not require a team of specialized engineers with laptops and clearances. It requires one technician.
This logistical footprint is virtually non-existent compared to the F-35, which requires climate-controlled hangars.
For smaller nations lacking the budget to build fortress-like air bases, the Gripen offers sovereignty without bankruptcy.
However, the true evolution, the technical shock that has the global defense market buzzing, lies in the propulsion and power generation upgrade.
While rumors often circulate regarding Rolls-Royce participation due to their involvement in the Eurofighter and future Tempest programs,
the Gripen E derives its kinetic ferocity from the General Electric F414 GE39E turbofan engine.
this is not a mere engine swap. It is a complete reimagining of the aircraft's kinematic potential.
This transformation is a testament to Saab's innovative engineering and strategic foresight.
The Gripen E is now a true force multiplier, capable of projecting power far beyond its original design parameters. It reshapes the landscape of air superiority, offering nations a viable alternative without compromising on capability.
Join us next time on AirDom for more in-depth analyses of global aviation and defense.
This power plant is an advanced derivative of the engine that has flown millions of hours on the F-18 Super Hornet. But Saab and their partners at GKN Aerospace have optimized it for a single engine configuration. Why does this specific number matter? Because it drastically alters the thrust-to-weight ratio of the jet. The Gripen E is significantly heavier than its predecessor, the Gripen C, due to increased fuel capacity and weapon stations. The new engine negates that weight penalty and then adds raw acceleration on top of it. We are looking at a technological breakthrough in thermal management and efficiency. The engine features a full-authority digital engine control, or FADEC, system that optimizes fuel flow and
This results in greater thrust responsiveness, allowing the pilot to bleed energy in a turn and regain it rapidly, a critical factor in.
Furthermore, this increased power generation is not just for speed, it is for electricity. The modern battlefield is not decided. The massive turbine of the F414 generates the immense electrical power required to run the Gripen E's true weapon. This is where the narrative shifts from simple mechanics to advanced digital combat. Pentagon clearly wasn't expecting Sweden to produce an electronic warfare platform that rivals the specialized EA-18G Growler.
The Gripen E carries the internal Arexis Electronic Warfare Suite, powered by gallium nitride active electronically scanned array technology.
This system allows the Gripen to scream digital noise at enemy radars, effectively rendering itself invisible.
It creates false targets, jams acquisition sensors, and hides the aircraft in a cloud of digital debris. The integration of the new engine allows the Gripen E to sustain these high-energy electronic attacks without compromising its flight performance. This creates a unique paradox that worries American defense contractors.
The F-35 relies on stealth, physical geometry, and radar-absorbent materials to survive.
The Gripen E relies on electronic attack and superior situational awareness.
As radar technology evolves, the Gripen can simply update its software libraries to jam the new frequencies.
It is an adaptable survival strategy versus a static one.
The improvements in thrust, cooling, and power generation result in sharper acceleration
and the ability to carry heavier payloads of next-generation weapons, like the Meteor Beyond Visual Range missile.
The Meteor is widely considered superior to the American AMRAAM due to its ramjet propulsion,
which allows it to throttle its engine during flight, maintaining high energy at the point of impact.
A Gripen E, powered by its upgraded engine, supercruising at high altitude, and launching Meteor missiles,
presents a kill zone that outranges almost anything in the sky. The improved thermal management of the engine bay also aids in reducing the infrared signature, boosting survivability against modern heat-seeking surface-to-air missiles.
The Pentagon's anxiety is not purely technical, it is deeply economic and geopolitical.
The Gripen E represents a fissure in the monopoly of the Western fighter market.
For decades, if a NATO ally or a non-aligned partner wanted a top-tier jet, they had to buy American.
That purchase came with strings attached, end-user monitoring, political leverage, and reliance on American supply chains.
The United States relies heavily on the massive F-35 program to maintain its political influence, secure.
However, the Gripen E offers a dangerous alternative: high-end capability with political neutrality.
Sweden typically offers full technology transfers, as seen in their deal with Brazil. They allow the purchasing nation to access the source code, integrate their own domestic weapons, and modify the flight systems.
The United States never permits this with the F-35.
For a country like Brazil, or potentially India or the Philippines, the ability to own their fighter jet completely,
by utilizing a US-designed engine but integrating it into an independent ecosystem.
A fighter jet that is modern, powerful, export-friendly, and inexpensive to operate is a direct challenge to the...
The Gripen isn't just an aircraft. It is a defiance of the pay-to-play model of global defense.
The technical shock experienced by military analysts when reviewing the Gripen E's flight envelope is genuine.
The aircraft creates a human-machine collaboration that is arguably superior to the current American interface.
The cockpit features a wide-area display, a single massive touchscreen that replaces traditional dials and smaller screens.
Combined with the helmet-mounted display, the pilot essentially looks through the airframe. The artificial intelligence within the jet sorts through terabytes of data, from the radar, the infrared search, and presenting the pilot only with what matters: It tells the pilot not just where the enemy is, but recommends the exact moment to
This efficiency allows the Gripen E to operate with the lethality of a heavy fighter while retaining the operating costs of a light trainer.
We are talking about a cost per flight hour of roughly $8,000 to $10,000. Compare that to the $35,000.
Over the 30-year lifespan of a fleet, that difference amounts to billions of dollars, money that can be spent on more missiles, better training, or infrastructure.
For a finance minister in a developing nation, the Gripen E is the only logical choice. This fiscal reality.
The Gripen E's evolution disrupts the global balance of air power by democratizing air superiority.
Previously, only superpowers could afford the active electronically scanned array radars and sensor fusion required to dominate the skies.
Now, with the Gripen E, smaller nations can field a force that creates a credible deterrent against larger aggressors.
This creates a ripple effect across military alliances.
Within NATO, smaller nations like Hungary and the Czech Republic have long utilized the Gripen platform. As they look to modernize, the E model offers a continuity that keeps them somewhat independent of the unified F-35 structure the United States pushes for.
Furthermore, the presence of the Gripen E in South America, specifically with the Brazilian Air Force, changes the calculus in the Southern Hemisphere.
Rome. Brazil is building these jets domestically, gaining aerospace expertise that will eventually allow them to export their own aircraft. This transfer of technology, the ability to build the engine components, the wings, and the avionics. This transfer of technology, the ability to build the engine components, the wings, and the avionics. The Gripen E is more than just an aircraft. It's a strategic game changer. It redefines air superiority for the modern era, making advanced capabilities accessible and reshaping global defense dynamics.
We must also consider the tactical implications of the Gripen's electronic warfare capabilities in a peer conflict scenario. In a hypothetical war in the Pacific or Eastern Europe, American stealth fighters rely on not being seen.
But stealth is not an invisibility cloak. It is merely a delay in detection.
Once a stealth fighter opens its weapon bay doors, its radar cross-section blooms.
The Gripen E, however, assumes it will be targeted. It uses its high-performance engine to maneuver aggressively while it's
It is the difference between a ninja and a gladiator. The ninja dies if he is spotted. The gladiator is built to fight in the open.
As radar networks become more powerful and employ low-frequency bands that can detect stealth aircraft, the Gripen...
This leads us to the ultimate realization. The Gripen E, powered by its enhanced American...
The F-35 is a masterpiece of engineering, but it is fragile logistically and exorbitant financially.
The Gripen E is a masterpiece of pragmatism.
The Pentagon is on edge because the Gripen proves that you do not need a trillion-dollar program to build a world-class air force.
You need smart engineering, a doctrine that matches your geography, and an engine that provides the raw power to execute your mission. Rolls-Royce may not be the supplier, but the result of the General Electric integration has yielded the same nightmare for American sales teams.
So, what happens when a lightweight, agile, and brutally efficient Swedish fighter jet achieves kinematic brilliance?
The result is a platform that forms fourth-generation fighters, creates tactical...
This is why the F-35 program feels the pressure, and why the Gripen E remains the ultimate underdog story in modern aviation history.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mechanics and politics of the world's most intriguing fighter jet, make sure to engage with the intelligence briefing.
Smash that like button to support independent analysis.
Drop a comment below on whether you think the Gripen E could defeat an F-35 in a dogfight.
Subscribe to AirDom. We are decoding the future of air superiority, one aircraft at a time. Welcome to AirDom, decoding the future of air superiority,
one aircraft at a time.
Stay airborne.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comments below.